Welcome to Lickin' on Lending, the podcast that dives deep into the heart of the mortgage industry. Your host, David Lickin, bringing you the latest insights, trends, and updates from the world of mortgages. Whether you're a seasoned industry veteran or just getting started, this show is your go-to source for all things mortgage. Let's get started. This is Lickin' on Lending. Now your host, David Lickin.
Listeners, we're back with another AI update, and we're back on with one of my favorite people, Jennifer from, it's Angel AI, Selligence, but also SunWest. She plays multiple roles in this conglomerate of very exciting entity that is taking our industry to the next level. Jennifer, it's good to have you back. Thanks for being here.
It's a pleasure to be here again, David.
One of the things that a lot of people get confused about is they hear AI and it's made to look so simple to use, and there's a lot more that goes on behind the curtain. And I want to get into understanding that to better appreciate it. When people start using a product like Angel AI, they have a whole lot deeper insights into what makes that Angel AI special, but also the complexities that go into it. Start us off. There's an article that Pavan sent us. I had a chance of reading it, but if you could start there and talking about that.
Sure. This article is about what Andrew Ng, the founding leader of the Google Brain team, his assessment of what an AGI is, right? And what he defines AGI, or during a test of that, he proposes.
Yeah, that's initial. So for those that are new, AGI stands for?
So basically, it's nothing but artificial general intelligence, right? What does that mean, right? What he defines as an artificial general intelligence, and the test is when an AI must successfully perform useful economic work and match a skilled professional over a multi-day experience, right? So that is what a true AGI means. And if you run Angel AI through that test, she will pass with flying colors. Why? She's already doing a complete loan origination process that normally requires a symphony of people like loan processors, CPAs, expert loan underwriters, and loan closers, right? And Angel AI is able to complete all this autonomously. And by doing this, we have successfully passed Mr. Ng's AGI definition. So that's what I wanted to start off this conversation with, and to also tell you a little bit of how we have been able to accomplish this.
That's where I want to go, is how have you been able to accomplish this? Because I believe you're the only one that I know of, any technology as in the mortgage space, that truly meets this test.
Yes. And as people think, right, it is not something I can get done overnight, not even in like a year or two, right? It's going to take decades to do this, and tons and tons and tons of data, right? Our engineering of Angel AI didn't start last year, didn't start 10 years ago. It actually started 30 plus years ago. Pavan himself actually laid the foundation of Angel AI, and he actually coded and architected the system himself 20 plus years ago. And over time, it was carefully articulated. It was carefully engineered. And one thing I always tell Pavan, even in our conversations, is like, you're the most patient person when it comes to engineering and technology. He will have this vision, and right. And even sometimes I would go say, oh my God, I have to get this release. And I don't know what's, I'll be baffled by that, right? But he'll say, it's okay. This is engineering. It is going to take time. And that kind of patience approach and a lot of perseverance. And then these are all qualities that you need to have. But from an engineering perspective, you need to have someone who understands real math and engineering. Artificial intelligence is not just LLM. You just give it, it's not prompt engineering. You could just give questions and it answers. Great. But that is not real artificial intelligence. The real artificial intelligence requires very fundamental mathematical knowledge, very fundamental engineering knowledge to be able to achieve this. And this is why our engineering team is very effective. And what makes our engineering team effective is its eclectic mix of skills, experiences, and ways of thinking. What I mean by that is I have engineers who are researchers, lead researchers in the industry. And I have engineers who are ex-military engineers, which brings in a lot of discipline and a lot of talent in there. And I have top of the class graduates, and I have MIT graduates, right? And it's not just that makes the team successful. I also have game programmers. I'm not trying to trivialize game programmers, by the way. All I'm saying is we also have game programmers. You need all kind of engineers to build something of this nature. Because number one, Angel AI has complex math and engineering skills behind her that helps her drive these decisions. And two, you can have a state-of-the-art backend technology, but unless it's very simple to use, no one is going to use it. And for that, you need the best UI. The best UI is always created by the game engineers in my mind. Because number one, games don't have a how-to that comes with it, right? Even kids can play with games, adults can play with games. It's the broad spectrum. So you have to have a UI that anybody can use. And always uses it that his mother uses nothing except WhatsApp on her phone, but she also uses Angel AI. That's how simple it is. And we had a borrower who is a grandma but 70 plus years old, and she was so happy how she was like telling one of our loan officers, hey, I was able to use AI to get my loan closed. And this is a grandma who was like 70 plus years old. So engineering is not just about the architecture behind it, which is also required, but it's also making it user friendly to a broad spectrum of users. And we always say, number one, it has to be kindergarten simple. At the same time, even the all spectrum of users should be able to adapt to it. So that is what it takes.
It's a combination of the simplicity by just being able to literally talk into the system and giving it the most simple of prompts, and it just keeps working with you until you get there. That's why someone who's a grandma that has probably no computer knowledge can use a tool like this. Talk about this, how this is revolutionizing companies. There's guys that we both know and work with, guys like Troy Kennedy over at Loanworks. He's one of the innovators that elected to build his whole new company around Angel AI. This is having such a transformative impact on his business, and also in turn, the industry. More and more people are looking at this, but it takes a significant commitment.
Right. I mean, for example, Pavan has been doing this since he was 14 years old?
Yeah, 14 years old.
And myself, I've been with the firm for 27 years now. My director of engineering has been here for 10 plus years. So it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of persevering knowledge, and it has to be done very carefully. And it's a steady stream of improvements. You can't make it happen overnight. You got to do cell by cell by cell by cell by cell, right? That's what Pavan talks about, cell engineering, and that is why he even named his company Celligence. That owns Angel AI, right? So it's like millions of cells that have come together over 30 plus years. That's what makes Angel AI so powerful. And as you said, Troy, one common quality that Pavan and Troy have is patience.
Yes.
Because he started working with Angel AI a few years ago, and along the time, he's seen how Angel AI has grown. And he's also seen how things were built step by step by step, even for running his own company. I mean, we do the payroll for him, meaning Angel AI does the payroll for him. Angel AI, he has like complex commission structures that are set up. Angel AI does all that for him, so he doesn't have any additional resources who are doing the commission structure that he has, because he has multiple tiers based on hiring structures and various complex structures that he has. But all of that, he worked with Angel AI to get it implemented. So now all he gets is a commission file in his inbox, and voila, the data is right there in front of him. And he was able to work with Angel AI and build it over weeks, months.
Well, it's taken a commitment on all your parts. What's really interesting is sometimes the simple systems, at least on the surface, they look so simple when you interact with them. I'm talking about how you interact with Angel AI. It seems so simple, but the complexity that goes into that. I'm interested in some of those that are developing, the individuals that you're using in the back rooms to develop this product. Give us more insights into it. I'm really fascinated that you use gamers.
Yeah, exactly right. One interesting fact I would like to really tell here is one of 2,000 applicants actually get hired in our filtering process. If 2,000 applicants apply for this job, one person gets selected. And I personally interview them as well. And I'm not looking for a person who has the domain knowledge or anything, right? All it takes is a lot of discipline, a lot of passion, and to be able to enjoy what you do. When you have all these things, then you can build what you want to build, right? So
how do you design? You manage a lot of this. You're primarily the one that's making this all happen, come together. When you have so many various participants, how do you bring them together on a common goal of what a common output goal?
See, once you have a vision set, right, and you find the passionate people to accomplish that vision, you will be very surprised. Like, I'm going to give you a real scenario. This morning, we had a stand-up Scrum meeting for my engineering team. And one of our engineers, William, was showing one of the latest UI features that he worked on implementing. And his itself is so exciting because number one, he did this. He was able to accomplish what he wanted to accomplish. And in showing that, he had so much more pride in showing that to all of us and the rest of the team. And he not only just did what he had to do, he took a step back and he looked at what was already there. You know what? If I do XYZ, it's going to make it much more better than what it is right now. He actually improved what we already had. And the end product is a brilliant UI. This is actually happened this morning, literally 3 hours ago in our Scrum call today. So this is exactly what it takes to build a successful product. It's not something that happens like in a snap of a finger. And he's been working on this for a couple of days now. And people underestimate the value of UI. To have the right UI takes a lot of effort and energy. And when I hire engineers, I always tell them, there's no UI engineer, there's no backend engineer. There's only one engineer. A good engineer will take care of everything end to end. And they will be able to build it so that, as you said, a grandma can use it because that's what they expect the product to be. They're so proud of what they've created. They're so in love with what they've created that they can't wait to showcase it to the whole wide world. It starts within the team, but then when that gets released in through QC process, they're so proud of it. In fact, one of my other engineers, we invited him to one of our Mindset Summit events and one of our product launches. And he came to me after that and told me, Jennifer, I know I created that Credit Boost service that we launched. I felt so proud to see the launch process of that particular service that I created. And to see someone using it, it only made me so much more happier, right? That is the level of compassion that's the level of passion that you have to create these products. You can't have someone who's just writing a code and getting it out of his desk. That's not who we hire at all. We hire engineers who really care about what they did and who really take pride in doing what they have to do. Then managing the team is not difficult at all. I just let them go on their own and give me the best of what you have.
You get it to come together. That's the key. I mean, everyone going out and creating, but they're creating around a unified vision. I get that, but there's still, it's tying it and knitting it all together so that this is that simple. How is that accomplished?
Again, I might make it sound simple, but it's not simple. Of course, it is not simple. It takes a lot of work in the back end. And especially when it comes to Angel AI, all you see is a chat window. But the amount of engineering that goes behind it in order to create it is a whole lot of work. I have had engineers who had a sleepless night. In fact, last night, one of my engineers was like, didn't go to bed until this morning, actually. I was even telling him, you know what, no, you don't do that. But still, once you enjoy what you're doing, time becomes irrelevant.
That's so true. That's really
time goes to still, right? So you just do what you have to do. And if you're enjoying it, then you will never look at the time.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. And how they all come together, I don't know how to answer that question. It just comes together because that's how we've created it. That's how we have set it up. And that's how they all work in tangent because everybody is so proud of what they create.
Well, there's a sense of pride. It comes out when I get to attend the company parties, like the Christmas party, things like that. People are genuinely honored to be a part of the Angel AI, the Celligence team. And while they don't feel like cogs in the wheel, they seem like each one of them feel like they're contributing. What is the key to developing that kind of culture inside the company, Jennifer?
Two things. One is letting them take ownership of their own project and giving them the autonomy to make a decision on the project they're working on. So as I said earlier, it's not like one person creates the front end, the other person creates the back end, and then someone else is testing it and someone else is releasing it. No, one person takes care of one simple thing. Like, for example, one of the major features that we have is Credit Boost. If that project is assigned to one individual, he is first understanding what Credit Boost does. How is it even used in real life? Then he's totally in line with the business use of it. Then he comes and designs how he's going to do it. He architects a solution for that. He's doing, or he or she is doing it themselves, right? And then myself, my director of engineering, Pavan, we're all here to offer any recommendations, suggestions. We meet with them to make sure that they're not stuck and they keep going. That's all we're doing. Nothing is enforced upon anyone. They have a monopoly of their own thoughts. And once they do that, they automatically get that ownership. And now they've finished all this and they've created the product. They are actually responsible to coordinate with anybody that they need to coordinate, get that product live. And it doesn't just stop there. They're supposed to monitor the use of that product in live scenarios and make sure that that customer experience is stellar. And if it's anything less than stellar, then they're actually receiving that feedback directly from the customers and they're actually improving upon it. So when you make someone do this end to end, they automatically are able to create wonders. That is something that we instill in everybody from day one. We don't split a task saying, okay, you do one piece of that puzzle. The person A does the one piece of it. Person B does the next piece. Person C, and then my director of engineering or someone goes and puts all these pieces together. No, it doesn't work that way. That product is your product. You take full ownership of that. And it's not easy to do that because every time my engineers come and tell me, when I'm interviewing candidates, they will come and tell me, is this front-end related project or back-end related project? I said, it's a project, right? And another very common question they all come and ask me is like, what does 30-day success look like? What does 60-day success looks like? What is 6 months, 1 year? No, you are given a product. That product defines your success, right? It's not, if that product takes 1 year, I'm going to wait 1 year to define your success. If that product takes 1 week, I will define your success in 1 week. So every product that you deliver defines your own success. So these are the kind of parameters that we instill in our engineers from day one so that they understand that they are responsible for the project that they're creating. And I know it's not easy. It's just a repetition. We just have to keep saying that again and again and again and again. And it'll stick because they're passionate. My engineers are not only just top of the class, they're also very, very passionate about what they do.
Right. And you're also creating a sense of ownership, which is what gives them the pride that brings it all together. Jennifer, you've been in the mortgage business for 30, almost 40 years, if I recall correctly. I mean, you've been in it for a very long time. Where do you see the industry going? I talked to Pavan about this, and I would like to get your perspective from an operations. You run operations at the company there for all these years. Where do you see the Angel AI influence taking our industry? First of all, costs are going to slash. You guys are the lowest cost originator.
Costs are going to slash. More than costs are going to which is again benefiting the consumer. From a lender's perspective, you need Angel AI for you to not have any buybacks. I actually listened to one of your own podcasts that you did, how AI was actually has to be trained properly so that it doesn't miss anything, and which would otherwise result in buybacks. And you know how buybacks can affect a lender's liquidity very much, right? So it is time that everybody understands that AI is not just a wrapper around an LLM. It is real training data. I still like the example of what one of your hosts, one of your attendees, guests said, which is basically, I think this person was a minor and he was our buyer was supposed to receive some alimony or child support for a minor, and unfortunately the AI didn't take into consideration. When I was listening to this, that's why they need Angel AI, because the advantage with Angel AI is, remember, she has been trained with 40 plus years of data that SunWest has originated loans with, right? So number one, I love that podcast, and number two, when I listened to that sentence of it, I was like, man, that lender needs Angel AI, because Angel AI is very well trained on that scenario and many more scenarios. This is why it's just, there's no point in spending millions and millions and millions and billions in just building a wrapper or over an LLM, because what they don't have is that 40 plus years of experience in the mortgage industry. So you need a good data set to be able to train your Angel AI or your AI. Your AI only is good as the amount of training that you do. It's not the number of GPUs that makes it successful. It's the amount of real-time data that makes it successful. And that's why Angel AI is the only AI that can actually solve mortgage industry's problems. Not only just that, I know in one of your previous podcasts, Pavan was talking about all the abuses that Angel AI was able to identify as well. She will never miss any of that. She will never miss a compliance issue. And I will be surprised why any lender would not want to use Angel AI, or any broker would not want to use Angel AI, because, as you said, not only is reducing the cost per loan, but is also creating compliant loans, and it's also creating loans for borrowers who really have the ability to repay and not putting them in any kind of distress. So I think that is what Angel AI is able to achieve. And that is where the industry should be looking at AI as well.
If there's any question, if it works, I encourage people to go to your angelai.com website. You have tons of testimonials from realtors, from builders, from loan originators, consumers that have used this product, and it's making such a difference in the lives of anybody that picks it up and does that. I want to get your thoughts on blockchain. Where are we and how this is fitting in? You're developing not only your nucleus, but all these other things.
Yes.
The twin, the artificial twin.
Yeah.
I mean, the avatars that we're talking about.
Yes.
This radically creates up new opportunities and new pathways in which we do the loans and how we communicate.
Yeah.
And that I get excited about. One of the factors is we're going to get a loan originators back to doing what loan originators are best at doing, and that's answering the direct question to the consumer, but taking all the other busy process out where there's a lot of failure points. And it solves for those and gives them back the joy of doing the thing that's getting more done and a lot more done.
Right. Absolutely, right? It's one thing that everybody loves is spending time with family. And Angel AI definitely gives that time back to you, so that we've seen originators being stressed and, spending sleepless nights on the eve of a COE or something like that, right? But Angel AI takes away that stress and gives you your time back, which is the most precious thing that anybody can have, right? Number one. Number two, as you said, twin and blockchain technology. Angel AI is the only mortgage tech that has blockchain technology incorporated within her, right? And I know the future is going to be about blockchain and being able to have control over the data that you have, the documents that you use, everything. You want to have a secure vault that can save all your information, and that information can be made available through generations. And your mortgage whether it be your mortgage documents, your will, your trusts, whatever it is, right? And you will be able to put all this in one vault. And not only that, you talked about the twin. The twin, you are able to train a digital version of your own with personal information that only you have access to. All of your personal data will be very, very secure in your vault in the blockchain. What more secure ways you can have to save your own personal data, right? So that's why you need to be on Angel AI to enjoy the benefits of having your own time back, having a secure future, and having a digital twin so that you could be in advance of everybody else around you, right? So this is why we always say Angel AI, I mean, of course, it has this warranted intelligence. You don't have to worry about once she gives you an answer, we warrant that and all of that information. But having a stress-free time, being able to spend back with your family, who would not want that, right? So
yeah, especially with the accuracy that's there, which is going back to giving you the peace of mind that when it gives an answer, you can bank on it. It is so good to have you back on the podcast, Jennifer. I love having you here. I want to get into, in the future, some other aspects of what's going on in the development of this. This is a complicated topic, and there's no one better to have you on to really just kind of explain some of the complexities that we have. We touched on it today. We'll have you back again soon. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, David. It was a pleasure as always.
Always a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you.
Folks, I want to say thank you to Angel AI for sponsoring this AI update. You've got to pay attention to what's going on. The world is changing, and Angel AI is leading the charge when it comes to AI and mortgage lending and mortgage technology. Check it out. Go to angelai.com, as well as start using the system by going to askangel.ai. Have a great day, everyone. Look forward to seeing you back here soon.
You've been listening to Lykken on Lending. Our passion is to bring you the latest insights, trends, and updates from the world of mortgages. So on this show, if you're a seasoned industry veteran or just getting started, it's your go-to source for all things mortgage. We hope you've enjoyed the show. We'll be back soon. Take care, and we'll see you next time on Lykken on Lending.